Ladies and gentlemen, it must be standard procedure when cops are dealing with black men and women that they must lie on the police report because there were inconsistencies and more than one on the police report that absolutely did not match what was on the video. So they have released the police report and made claims about Tyree Nichols. It just didn't corroborate with what was on there. And one of the biggest lies they told was he was trying to go for one of the officers' guns. And that is contradicted and did not occur on the video at all. So, a Memphis police report into the traffic stop of Tyree Nichols portray him as violent and aggressive and states that he tried to grab an officer's gun, allegations that are contradicted by multiple videos released by authorities. NBC News has obtained the content of the report, which has not been made public. A Memphis police spokesperson said Wednesday that it was unavailable and did not respond to additional questions about it. A Shelby County spokesperson said that District Attorney Steve Mulroy has a report with the same account of events, and that the Memphis Police Department is expected to release the official report within days. The district attorney spokesperson said that there have been questions about other officers on the scene and the potential of false reporting, and that the DA is looking into all of these matters. Nichols, a 29-year-old amateur photographer and skateboarder, died 3 days after police brutally beat him during a traffic stop on January 7th. I don't know if any of you had a chance to go out to Democracy Now! And watch the interview that Ben Crump did with the parents. And they lied from the beginning. They said they pulled Tyree Nichols over, and this came from his mother because they knocked on her door and said that he was pulled over for DUI and they had to pepper spray him. So when they had to go up to the hospital, they said they were not prepared for what they walked into when they went into the room and saw what condition he was in. And his mother said it baffled him because Tyree didn't drink alcohol. He had Crohn's disease. And so he kept his diet a particular way so he wouldn't have flare ups. And one of the things he would do is not drink alcohol. So she was wondering, well, how did he get a DUI and he doesn't even drink? So, I mean, this guy was squeaky clean, plain and simple. So we know the officers got fired and then additional people in the fire department and EMTs also got fired. We know that. But it just goes to show you when it comes down to policing, they have no concern to whether the video matches what they turn in as a police report. And to me, when a cop falsifies a police report, that should be not only an automatic termination, they should automatically be jailed because you can potentially get a person in a lot of trouble with a false police report. Or, you got a dead person that can't even defend themselves. So, what do they do? Sit down and just scribble up some mess, some made up story off the top of their head? So, they also said he resisted by pulling duty belts and grabbing Officer Smith by the vest. This is what they claim he did. He was given multiple commands to stop resisting, which he ignored. The report said chemical agent was deployed. And they're talking about the pepper spray again, and it was ineffective. Detective Mills deployed his department issue ASP baton while giving verbal commands to stop resisting, striking him several times in the right arm, attempting the suspect, Tyree Nichols, to comply. They making him sound like he was Ultraman out there. You know? Wow. Like he was just invincible out there, and that's absolutely not on the video. So the report, which called Nichols a suspect and Martin a detective, the victim, listed the offense as aggravated assault. This is what they put on the police report. It does not say officers repeatedly punched and kicked Nichols in his head and face, even though they are seen doing it in the video of the traffic stop. So, what they did was they made him seem like the aggressor and then excluded all of the things that they did to him at the scene. That's the police report they turned in. So the body cam footage shows an arriving officer at the traffic stop pointing a gun, another shouting, "You're going to get your A blown the F out." Nichols was yanked out of his car by an officer, the video shows. Multiple officers hovering around him while he was on the ground, yelling sometimes contradictory commands. That's what they're saying, the cop. And, they do that to mess you up. So if you do one thing wrong, then they're justified in shooting you. Show me the video where they're doing this to non Black people. All right. So Nichols tell the officer, "I am on the ground," before he appears to be sprayed with a chemical irritant. The video shows Nichols broke free from the officers and ran to his mother's neighborhood. Other body cam videos and a police surveillance camera mounted on a pole showed officers caught up to him and repeatedly punched and kicked him in the face. He was also struck with a baton. The video shows Nichols was assaulted about 80 yards away from his mother's home as he yelled for her for help. And he lived there. He lived with his parents, his mother and stepfather. So 80 yards, he was real close to home. But yeah, so they wrote all these lies all over the police report, excluded all of the atrocities that they did to him at the scene, and that's what they turned in. Just making him seem like an aggressor they had to subdue. And that is exactly that's not what happened when you look at that video. So I'm not surprised. It just standard procedure for a Black man in America to get lied on by the police. And we've seen this multiple times. And don't try to say it don't happen. You did it with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. What happened to the $20 bill that was supposed to be counterfeit? What happened to that? Tamir Rice, it happened to him. They tried to say, oh, it looked like a real gun. The gun had a tip on it that clearly showed it was a toy. These cops are always lying. All right. It is so many cases, it's not even funny. So, this is one more that they sat around and lied on. So, y'all remember, February 17th is when these cops must appear in court. I'm sure it's going to be live streamed because of the nature of this particular incident. Oh, and 5 Black officers. Oh, yeah, they going to make sure this is shown publicly everywhere. So hopefully it will be live streamed, which I suspect it will be, and I'll give you some updates on that when, at the time when it happens. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Who needs a cop around if all he's going to do is lie when he shows up at the scene and then write those lies into the police report, then you're of no use to the public. How are you any help to the public at that point? You're not. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.